Aren't we all just waiting for the party that just end and be on with our lives? Or at least that's what Hayley is trying to present with this album cover. Aren't we all just tired these days? What's up, everyone? It's your boy Matt Diazable coming at you with a new music review. Thanks for coming on by. You the best. If you just now found me, I talk about music from all different genres: metal, hardcore, pop, whatever it might be, and just have some fun on my channel. So if you like what you see, like, subscribe, and comment down below. Today I'm checking out the latest release from Hailey Williams with her new album Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party. If you've been living under a rock and don't know who Hayley Williams is, don't worry, I got you covered. She is the lead vocalist of a big rock band called Paramore. She's also a solo singer, songwriter, and just rock and pop punk and pop star. She's well known in all those spaces. She's known for her very powerful vocals and her very, very outspokenness for mental health and just protecting yourself and trying to get through life in this difficult environment that we've all been going through lately. And she's just been a very, very powerful, I guess you could say, just pop star in the sense of just always being positive and being very helpful of everyone, whether they be white, black, whoever. She's a very, very, very active member in all sorts of communities, punk and punk, non-punk stuff. She's a really cool girl is pretty much what I'm trying to say. So I'm really excited to talk about this latest solo release she put out. I've never actually checked out much of her stuff. I know a few Paramore songs. I never really got into them, but I know that they're very influential in the rock scene. So I'm really excited to talk about this debut. I don't know if it's a debut, but this newest album from her. And from what I can gather about this latest album from Hayley Williams, it feels like you've accidentally stumbled into someone's late night confession with this record, because it's an album that is filled with a lot of quiet grooves, emotional honesty, and just a lot of low lit introspection. I was really surprised at how I guess it wasn't as loud and like hard as it was going to be, because she's a bit of a rocker herself, coming from Paramore and everything. But this is a very pull back album. It's an album that moves more on feeling than flash than anything, where the deep bass lines and the very soft guitars being played here are carried by some very soft and very deepful lyrics that carry a nice balance of melancholy and growth at the same time. And it seems every song on here is living in its own little hazy and separate world, but they all carry the same message, and that is, it's all about self-discovery, emotional exhaustion, and just learning to let go of everything that's been going on in your life that doesn't serve you or gives you happiness in any way. That's the reoccurring thing that you see on this album. And it all starts with the song Ice in My OJ, which kind of slowly builds up and then slips into a very cool and like sexy R&B kind of rhythm. You got some really smooth bass here, some very snappy percussions, and vocals that have a very chilled out and very relaxed feeling to it, which kind of give like an immediate feeling of what the album is going to go to, and it just really sets the tone very nicely. I will say the song does swell very largely with a lot of synths and deep drums that at times it feels a little bit clustered, almost like there's too much going on, like emotion spilling over. But even with all this clutter going on, her vocals are sounding very confident here and just have a really nice restrained feeling to them. It's like she's holding steady while, like the world is just buzzing and going crazy all around her, but she's not losing her cool. The mood softens a little bit with the song Glum, where, you get some really soft and simple guitar strums and some very simple flute playing that really frames the lyrics about, aging and loneliness and, quietly just imploding as you grow up. It's a lighter and cleaner sounding song that has a very direct emotional feel to it. It's like one of those songs that, it's saying so much without ever really doing too much. It moves you in a very nice way. Then on the flip side, you have the song Kill Me, which carries that same kind of intimacy, but it has a bit of a darker lens to it. It's a slow and acoustic track that reflects on, family generational trauma and the ways we carry what others have done and just that weight that's put upon us. And weirdly enough, there's like a little bit of humor how she's talking about this trauma and these negative things without you really realizing it. And I would say the hook on this particular song, the rhythm section is really catchy, and before you know it, it's kind of stuck in your head. Things kind of pick up with the song's whim, and if I'm correct, it's called Mitrozapine. I think it's a drug name. But anyway, these two tracks, really show how good Hayley is at, using very minimal sounds to create very interesting and good texture. The bass gets a little bit deeper here, the drums are a little bit sharper, and these songs really breathe in these little loops, creating some very catching and quite calming songs at the same time. And I want to say the song Mitrozapine, I think that's how you say it, it really stands out in particular here. It's a track about medication and, identity that manages to sound very upbeat while it wrestles with a very dark and heavy subject matter. And this song has a very washy, almost, distorted vocal textures to it that feels like she's singing through a fog. She sounds very detached, but, at peace with it. And midway through the album, she is able to find a very interesting rhythm of contrasts. Disappearing Man and, Love Me Different are about breakup and self-confidence that just keeps things very cool and very grounded at the same time. And I would say these songs are very bass driven. They have a very simple and light percussion feel to it, so that her vocals are just floating very nicely in the middle of the mix. Then things kind of get flipped around with the song Brotherly Hate, which, has a very completely different tone, riding a very slow, almost skeletal groove and bursts of distorted vocals throughout the song. It's a bit hypnotic, it's a bit strange, but it's totally magnetic. It's really cool seeing her experiment with her sound and trying to stretch out her different styles here to really keep things very chill without, breaking her mold too much. Then you got the song Negative Self-Talk, which kind of eases things back a little bit with some very acoustic guitars and gentle violins that drift right under her very soft vocals. It's a sparse and soothing song about doubt that ends up feeling more comfortable than sad overall. And then you got the title track of the entire album, and that is Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party. And it just feels like the big anchor moment for this entire record. It's a smooth and bass heavy track that, has some very simple and very cutting lyrics about, refusing to just sink to the level of very hateful and disgusting people. It's a calm, very firm and self-assured track. It's amazing. It's crazy how she's talking about a very, impactful and controversial subject here, and you think she'd be more brash and more outspoken, but she has such confidence here that she doesn't really need to raise her voice. She's cool and collective, and that speaks volumes. So we get to the last stretch of the album, and it kind of mixes things between reflection and release. Hard leans into some very sleek and robotic synths, snappy drums, and deep bass playing. It's catchy, but it's a bit understated, kind of like, a night drive that never really kind of resolves itself. You keep going and going, and you never really stop. It's cool, it's fun, but there's no conclusion to it. Discovery Channel was pretty interesting because she is taking from the song The Bad Touch from, I think it's called The Blood Brothers, from way back in the day with the chorus, and she kind of twerks it and makes it into her own style, and it works kind of in a very fun way while also being kind of serious and introspective at the same time. And then you have the song True Believer, which kind of turns the focus a little bit outward, where she's talking about, culture, faith, and the politics of belonging to a group. It's a very soft but very powerful message. And then from this point on, the songs kind of get a little bit more loosier, a little bit more airier in their presentation, like Zaus and Dream Girl and Shibuya, which have very airy, melodic, and warm feels to them. It's music for, those quiet moments in life, those nostalgic and very peaceful moments that you have throughout your day. Song Blood Bros kind of moves into this very calm but very hypnotic feel to it. While the songs I Won't Quit on You and Parachute have more of a gentle, light feel to them, they're songs that don't really need to be shouted, but they have a very smooth and glowing feel to them. So by the time we get to the final song, Good Old Days, it closes the album out on a very confident and smooth feeling. Get some really good deep bass playing here, some soulful rhythm, and a sound of, someone completely comfortable in their own skin finally. What's really striking and really amazing about this album is that, she's never really ever like not confident in herself. She is just, you know, always herself on this album, and it's really amazing to listen to. It's soft spoken, but it's never unsure of itself, full of grooves that really, you know, hum beneath the very lyrics about mental health, self-worth, and quiet resilience. I feel like this entire album, you know, it doesn't really need to be flashy. It's not trying to impress you. It's just existing. It's a very calm, steady, and just a very alive album with a lot of subtle detail. And I think a good way to summarize it, it's like an album where, you know, you're having late night conversations you didn't expect to have, but really, really needed. And this is how that album translates and how it embodies within you. So I gotta say, the new Hailey Williams album, Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party, very, very human album. And I gotta give it a good and decent 8 out of 10. Links down below. Tell me what you think about this album, what you think of Hailey Williams, and just everything that's going on. So till next time, guys. See you in the pit. Good things about you.